up, guys? It's your boy Pelon. We back at it again. Check it out. Tonight, once again, we're on the topic of indigeneity, right? But tonight, we're going to talk about my people, the people that I descend from, right? Michoacan's finest, the purepecha, right? The purepecha people, the purepecha empire. You probably may have never even heard of the purepecha empire, right? And that's because I don't think we get our place that we deserve in history, right? I don't think we don't get what we have coming, right? We were a major contribution to Mesoamerica, right? To the American continent. So I feel like we should get a little more than what we have received so far, right? So let's get into it, right? Who are the purepecha? Because like I said, you probably have never heard of the purepecha. Maybe you have, right? So I'll give it to you the way that it was taught to me, the way that I understand it, the way that it was told to me. From what I understand, there was a group or tribe of pre-Inca Quechua-speaking Indians from the Andes, specifically, from what I understand, possibly Cusco, right? These pre-Inca Quechua-speaking Indians, they left for whatever reason. They went up north, they shot up into the river Balsas, and they ended up in Michoacan. Okay, upon their arrival in Michoacan, what happened was they basically ran into or came upon a tribe of Chichimeca Indians that spoke Nahuatl. Okay, these Chichimeca Indians had a tribal name. That name was the Wakusecha. They went by the name Wakusecha, right? So these two tribes came together. A lot of the Wakusecha men married Purepecha women. They took Purepecha women for wives, right? From the way that I understand it. Okay, so basically these two tribes came together to create what we now know or knew back then as the Purepecha Empire, right? Here's a fun fact, right? One thing that we Purepecha really take pride in is that, everybody knows. Let's talk about the Mexica, right? You can't even speak about indigeneity without bringing up the Mexica, right? The Mexica were the fiercest of warriors, right? And when it really came down to it, nobody really wanted that smoke with the Mexica people, right? Period, point blank. They were the fiercest of fierce warriors, right? That's a known fact. Everybody knows this, right? They had elite armies, special armies, This is what history tells us, right? We know this is a fact. It's not even up for debate, right? But as fierce and badass, or chingon as they were, right? Here's the thing. They only ever lost in battle 2 times, right? One of those times was to the colonizer, right? But you really can't even count that because these colonizers, they had armor that could protect them from our weaponry. They didn't play fair at all, right? They introduced smallpox, Spanish influenza, diseases, captivity, rape, murder, pillage, right? They did not fight fair, right? They did not fight honorably, right? Indigenous people were honorable. Like the way we fight is very it's manly combat. It's honorable. It's honorable warfare, right? We don't introduce tactics that these conquistadors entered to us, that they brought to us, right? So, they lost to the colonizer, but let's not even count that one, right? So the one time I'll say that they lost in battle was to the Purepecha, and this is documented. You can really research this, right? And I will say though, right? I will say from what I understand and what I've been taught, we Purepecha were the only people or the only indigenous tribe in Mexico at that time that really had metallurgy down to like a fine art, right? So from what I understand, we had copper weaponry, copper armor. So I'm very sure that did aid us in our fight with the Mexica, right? But the Mexica are not the enemy, right? They're not the enemigo. Let's look at it this way, right? Okay. As I just mentioned, if you're a Purepecha person, you have both lineages, right? You got that South American Quechua, that pre-Inca lineage, right? From the Andes, from Peru, But you also have that Nahuatl lineage from the Chichimeca, the Wakusecha people. So we are literally like the best of both worlds, right? And that's what I know to be true, guys. I thought I would share this with you, right? I don't feel like we get our place in history that we really have coming. So more or less, I just wanted to share this with you guys. I'll probably come back for a part 2. A lot of my videos are going to be broken down into like part 1, part 2, maybe even part 3s. We'll see. I try to keep my videos brief, like short and sweet, but to the point. I want you guys to be able to take something away from my videos, right? Because at the end of the day, what this is really all about is putting the information out there for the gente, right? For the Mexicanos, the indios from Mexico, right? The people that identify as indigenous people from Mexico. It's time that everybody know that not all of us claim to be Latino. You know, we ain't from Italy. Not all of us claim to be, you know, from Spain. We're not all Hispanic. There are those of us, you know, that identify as Native American, you know, and that's a fact, right? I feel like the sleeping giant is about to wake up, right? A good friend of mine that I just met, but he's still a good friend because this man is very knowledgeable, right? And I've only spoke to him, you know, one time over the phone and a couple times online or whatever via text. But this man told me that, you know, the sleeping giant was about to be woke up, and I feel that that's true, right? Over and out, y'all.